The year is 1939. War clouds gather over Europe, and the world holds its breath. For thousands of young men, life is about to change forever. This is the story of a World War II pilot. It all started with a poster, a powerful image of a Spitfire, a call to arms for the youth of a nation. Your country needs you. For a farm boy from the countryside or a clerk from the city, it was an irresistible pull, a chance for adventure, to defend freedom, to touch the sky. The first step was the recruitment office, lines of hopefuls, full of nervous energy and patriotic fervor. They faced rigorous physical exams, eyesight, reflexes, stamina. Only the best would make the cut. Then came the interviews. Why do you want to fly? The answer was always the same: to do their part. Once accepted, the real journey began. Basic training was a whirlwind of discipline and exhaustion. Marching, drills, and endless hours in the classroom. They learned navigation by the stars, the mechanics of an engine, the physics of flight. It was a steep learning curve, a transformation from civilian to soldier. Then, the moment they had all been waiting for, the first time stepping into a cockpit. The aircraft was a gentle trainer, a de Havilland tiger moth. Its flimsy fabric wings seemed impossibly fragile. An instructor sat behind them, shouting instructions over the engine's roar. The first takeoff was terrifying and exhilarating. The ground fell away, and for the first time, they were truly free. Days turned into weeks filled with practice, takeoffs and landings again and again. They learned to handle the plane in gentle turns, then steep banks. They flew in formation, wingtip to wingtip, learning to trust the man next to them. The training was relentless. Mistakes were not an option. A moment's hesitation could be fatal. Some didn't make it. The pressure was immense, but those who persevered grew stronger, more confident. Their skills were honed to a razor's edge. From the gentle tiger moth, they graduated to more powerful machines. The North American Harvard, with its roaring engine and retractable gear, felt like a true warplane. This was advanced training. They practiced aerobatics, loops, and rolls, pushing the aircraft and themselves to the absolute limit. They learned the deadly dance of aerial gunnery, firing at drogue targets towed behind other planes. The smell of cordite filled the air. Finally, the day came. They were assigned to their operational squadron. New faces, new names, but the same determined look in their eyes. Here, they would meet the legendary machines of war. The elegant Supermarine Spitfire, a symbol of defiance, or the rugged Hawker Hurricane, the workhorse of the Battle of Britain. For the Americans, it might be the mighty P-51 Mustang or the powerful P-47 Thunderbolt. Climbing into one of these for the first time was a humbling experience. The cockpit was a cramped space of dials, levers, and switches. The power of the Rolls-Royce Merlin or the Pratt & Whitney engine was a physical force, a vibration that ran through your entire body. They were no longer just pilots, they were weapons. The atmosphere on the base was a strange mix of boyish camaraderie and grim reality. In the mess hall, they'd share stories, play cards, and sing songs, trying to forget the war for a few hours. Laughter echoed off the walls, but the empty chair at the table was a constant, silent reminder of the cost. The briefing room was where the war became real, a large map on the wall, marked with enemy positions. The commanding officer would outline the mission, a bomber escort, a fighter sweep, or a scramble to intercept incoming raiders. Hearts pounded, adrenaline surged. This was it. The scramble bell was a sound that haunted their dreams, a jarring, urgent alarm that meant enemy aircraft were approaching. From a dead sleep or the middle of a meal, they would sprint to their planes. Ground crews were already there, starting the engines. A mad dash, buckling into the cockpit, a quick thumbs up to the crew chief. One after another, they roared down the runway and clawed for altitude, climbing into the cold, thin air. The world below became a patchwork quilt. Up here, the sky was a vast, beautiful, and lonely place. They'd scan the horizon, eyes straining for the telltale black specks of the enemy. Then, the call would come over the radio. Bandits at 2 o'clock high. The calm beauty was shattered. Dogfights were a chaotic ballet of life and death, twisting, turning, diving. The aircraft became an extension of their bodies. G-forces pinned them to their seats, threatening to make them black out. Tracers, like fiery red lines, zipped past the canopy. The roar of the engine, the rattle of the machine guns, the terrifying sound of cannon shells hitting metal. It was a maelstrom of noise and violence that lasted only minutes but felt like an eternity. Every decision was split second. Outthink, outfly, or you don't come home. There was the elation of a victory, the sight of an enemy plane spiraling down in smoke. But there was also the horror of watching a friend's plane explode in a ball of fire. One moment they were there, a voice on the radio, and the next just silence. The long flight back was often quiet. The adrenaline faded, replaced by exhaustion and a hollow ache. They would count the returning planes. Sometimes, not everyone made it back. Landing was a relief, the familiar feel of solid ground beneath the wheels. The ground crew would be there, waiting anxiously. A silent nod, a pat on the shoulder. No words were needed. The debriefing was a somber affair. Reports were filed, victories confirmed, losses recorded. Then they were left alone with their thoughts. The psychological toll was immense, the constant fear, the loss of friends, the burden of taking another life. Sleep offered little escape. Nightmares were common. The faces of the lost, the images of battle replayed over and over. They were just boys, barely out of their teens, carrying the weight of a world at war on their young shoulders. They developed coping mechanisms, a dark sense of humor, a superstitious ritual before a flight, a cherished letter from home read 100 times. Anything to keep the darkness at bay. For some, the war ended with a parachute jump over enemy territory, leading to the grim reality of a prisoner of war camp. For others, it ended in a hospital bed, their bodies broken, but their spirit intact. And for too many, it ended in the sky they so loved to fly. When the war finally ended, the celebration was bittersweet. The world rejoiced, but for the pilots, the silence was deafening. The roar of the Merlin was gone. The daily routine of life and death was over. Returning to civilian life was a challenge. How could you explain what you had seen, what you had done, to someone who hadn't been there? The sky was no longer a battlefield, but a memory. They were heroes, but they were also haunted. They were the few, the young men who climbed into their metal birds and fought in the clouds to secure our freedom. Their courage, their sacrifice, and their story will never be forgotten. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please consider subscribing for more chapters from history.